Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, January 19th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's gonna open in about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, looks good. There. Looks like everything is good to go. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Link is sent out there. Sent out there. All right. Looks like we are good to go. So I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. And as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here on the daily chart. So got liquidity right there, there, there. I think price is, well, we'll see how many levels are there. If there's a lot of levels on the upside, then I'll draw some like level 1 or 1 minute levels. Just that you guys have an idea where, price is likely to blast right through. Going down to the 2-hour. Down to the 1-hour. Down to the 30-minute. Color that red. Down to the 15. Down to the 10-minute. Down to the 1-minute. And so this is what I was talking about. You guys can see there's a lot of like lower level liquidities right here, like the 1 minutes. I'll color these in red and green that you guys can have an idea. I typically only mark them up if they're bunched up like that. So, all right, guys, we have liquidity marked up right here. Closest level of liquidity down below is going to be right here. It looks like it's probably going to get hit pre-market at 37,782. Right here, looks like it's probably going to get knocked out right now. The one thing I'd probably focus on would be this upper level right here. So you guys can see where these green lines are. These are 1 minute level liquidities. If you guys have followed me for, I guess, a while now, we started applying this strategy, I think about like 3 or 4 years ago, and we used to apply it on the 1 minute time frame. So you guys can see how I marked them up over here in green. Whenever they're bunched up like this, these are pretty good liquidity points, and they're probably gonna push up to the next level. So if they do push up here, they're probably gonna break through here and go up to this level right here. So closest level of these 1 minute liquidities are going to be right here at 37,839. And the actual bigger level is going to be, a bit higher. So if you want to enter this, I typically, when I used to take these trades, I would take them in the midway mark. So like in between this. So like once this gets hit and it gets closer to the next one, I would enter. And then I pretty much ride this up to the next level right there. So that's going to be the closest level right there. There's going to be another level up here. Once price gets to that point, this is probably going to be the target price point. So if price has this big bullish push, it's probably going to push up higher, and get to that point right there. So there goes liquidity. Going over to our clean chart, we have, let's see, I'll mark up 6:30 right here. Mark up 8 o'clock. Let's see if there's structure over here on the 4-hour time frame. We got structure right there. Price is actually pushing away from the 4-hour structure. So price is actually at the 1-hour resistance right now. So it's rejecting off it right here. I'm going to put this 1-hour resistance level. So we got that right there as the 1-hour resistance. We'll see if price breaks back up to that area, but right now, this is currently where price is at. Let's go over here to our main chart. Let me check the news from today. So the news from today, we had news, or let me refresh real quick. Actually, we don't have news till 7, so there was no pre-market news, surprisingly. There's a lot of news at 7 o'clock, though. So at 7 o'clock is going to be a high-impact news period right here. So I'll be looking out for that. I don't think there was any other news before this. Let me check Forex Factory just to be sure. Oh, there wasn't. Okay, so looks like that's what we're going to be looking for today. So looking over here, retail sentiment is currently 80% short. This indicates that 80% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. That's the main reason why I drew the structure over here for liquidity. So you can see over here, liquidity, we have all these upper structures because price is probably going to push up and blast right through when market opens. Otherwise, it'll probably push up once we have news pass at 7 o'clock. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently up 136 points pre-market, so it's bullish as well. And then on top of that, looking over here at the technicals, everything is pretty much bullish except for the 1-minute time frame. So I think this drop right here is probably temporary, and then we're probably going to get a correction to the upside if anybody is looking to, ride that up. So like I mentioned, if you want to look for a key area to make entry, it's probably going to be these green lines right here. These are the ones that are bunched up. And then, we'll just play it by ear from there. But you want to be careful on open because I think a lot of people are probably thinking about the same thing we're thinking of. And I'm sure people are going to try to chase this push to the upside. You want to be careful not to get caught with the short end of the stick, right? Because you don't want to be that person that gets in super late, price is overextended, and then it comes right back down. So just be smart about it. Don't chase it. And I'm probably just going to hold off and wait until I want to know for sure my entry is going to hit before I take anything. So I'm not going to chase anything here. I'm just going to wait and look for my actual entries. I'm sticking to the game plan. There's not going to be any speculative trades here by me. I'm going to be waiting for my setups for the V1 variation with confluence or breakout V3 continuation with confluence as well. So yeah, exactly. Maddie said that 1-minute liquidity looks nice. Retail sentiment short. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Maria, morning. Morning, Johnny. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Craig. Morning, everybody. So guys, today is Friday, January 19th. Happy Friday, everyone. 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 2 minutes. As I mentioned, the higher time frames are bullish, but I'm going to stick to my game plan. I'm not really going to jump the gun here. I'm going to be focusing on my entries. So right now, price is technically bearish. So we'll see what happens when market opens here in the next 2 minutes. But I'm not going to chase any of these big volatility pushes. I'm expecting some big volatility pushes here on open because you can see over here how price was super bullish for London session. So I'm expecting a possible correction back up later. But here goes the first level of liquidity. You guys can see it hit and went straight to TP. So there goes the first level of liquidity right there. Price is probably going to get manipulated to the downside, and then it's going to swing right back up. So we'll see what happens here in a bit. And, shout out to Johnny. If you guys are not following the social media for Kodi Kai, Johnny got this huge Kodi Kai trade tattoo on his hand. If anybody saw it, super sick. Yeah, nice work, Johnny. Also, we have a couple people here who got paid out. So looking over here at our team profits for the day, we have Kenneth over here. They got paid out 2,000 on his first Apex account. His second account, 2,700. And then we also have Janesh over here with his first payout as well, 1,300 through Apex. So big congrats to our members right here who got paid out through Apex. Hopefully more to come. It seems like every week there's somebody here in the group who's getting funded and getting paid out. So we'll see what happens over the next couple months, guys. I'm expecting a lot of people here to get payouts and a lot of people to get funded over the next couple of weeks. Seems like a lot of people here are starting to actually listen and follow directions when we trade, because that's kind of what it really is. If you talk to any of these people who are currently getting paid out and who passed, you'll see the common answer from a lot of them is that they just started to really follow directions. So hopefully we get a lot more of you guys getting funded and paid out this year. I'm pretty sure we will. It's just a matter of time once people start to follow the game plan. So, all right, guys, market is now open. Price is dropping down super heavily. There goes opening price. Let me mark up opening price over here as well. Got that right there. Let's see what happens here as price continues to bounce around. So again, we got liquidity sitting up there, level 1 liquidities. So what I look out for here, guys, is I look for a V1 pattern. I'd look for a double body, double wick rejection, probably a continuation to the upside. So I'd look for a reversal pattern, and then I'd look for a continuation, right? Because I do expect a correction to happen. I don't know when it'll happen, but it's going to happen eventually. It's probably going to just consolidate here until news either drop a little further or consolidate here a little bit, and then eventually it'll come back up, right? That's kind of what I see happening. Price might even come back down here to these sessions. So price might come down to the sessions, bounce off, and then come right back up. But again, like I said, guys, we're not going to force any trades here. We're just going to be patient, wait for this here to play through. Eventually we're going to have our entry that comes up. What I've noticed lately is that our entries typically come up around like 720, 730. So like around this time, there's a lot of noise, and then it starts to smoothen out as we get closer to that time period. So again, guys, there's no rush. We're going to wait, and we're just going to wait for the trade to come to us. So no need to force anything. All right, so there's not really too much going on. I mean, price, I was expecting maybe some volatility here on open. There was some volatility on that opening candle and the following candle, but then it started to die down a little bit. Yeah, Rashida said a V3 up into the 1 minute liquidity would be golden. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm looking for too. So what I'm looking for first is I'm looking for a V1 pattern down here. Once we have that V1 pattern, we can try to maybe establish that as the floor. And then we can probably try to, get into stuff on the way back up. So, see. Yeah, Craig said I also started to notice this. Let's let markets stabilize and better setups start to look good from 10:30 or 10 o'clock New York time and onwards. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Craig, 100%. The market's always changing. So that's the good thing that you guys have me here and you guys have other members here who are noticing stuff like this, because you just have to adjust with the market. The market's always going to shift here and there. And it's just up to you to be able to adjust with the market. You don't have to change your strategy. You just have to adjust what you're looking for at the time. But the thing is, the volatility is pretty decent as well with, the ATR. The ATR has been above 15 pretty much all session. So there's no need to force anything early on. You can wait until like closer to the end of the session, and you can find a lot of those smoother entries that appear. Yeah, exactly. Vimal said 10 to 10:45, best time to trade. Definitely. So 10 to 10:45, which is 7 to 7:45 our time. That's usually where we see the entries. We see a lot of crazy movements here. A lot of fake outs happen like between 6:30 and 7. And then once 7 hits, the market starts to stabilize a bit. So again, guys, it's just a matter of patience and waiting for these entries to come to us. That's pretty much what we're looking for. And guys, just a heads up, I've updated the website. So if you guys are new here, or if you guys are not familiar with like the current strategies that we're applying, You guys can go to our website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access right here. Once you click on that, it'll give you access to the free course. This is what the free course looks like. If you go down to module number 4, module number 4 right here, it has all of the main strategies that we're applying here on the live session. Momentum pullback scalp, breakout V3, continuation with confluence, breakout V1 with confluence. These two are the main strategies that I'm applying here on the live session. So if you guys want to watch that, the videos are available here. This is completely free, so you guys can watch that so that you guys are able to follow along with the analysis here. And then I've also added, the new indicators, trailing stop indicator, momentum pullback levels indicator, etc. But again, the two main strategies that we're applying on these live sessions as official trades are the breakout V3 continuation with confluence and V1 variation with confluence. So just a heads up, if you guys haven't taken a look, I think I've uploaded like 10 new videos from the new year. And, once we have more things that I need to upload, I'll also make more. I think I'm going to be making a couple more. Let me check my list. Yeah, I'll be updating the main issues module as well with some diagrams. Hey, Gary, morning. All right, so price is rejecting directly off the sessions over here. We'll see if it starts to swing back up. If it doesn't, that's completely fine. We're just going to continue watching. Let's see, Sisuk said might be able to take on one more mentee mid next week. Nice, yeah. So if anybody's looking for a mentor, Sisuk is picking up one mentee, I believe, if anybody is interested. I'm still putting together the curriculum for the group mentoring this year. So like I mentioned, guys, I'm going to be hosting more of a hands-on mentoring group. I'm going to do basically an incubator for the first cycle. If I like it, I'll do it again. But, I typically don't like to mentor or trade or teach anymore. I just like to trade. So once that's available, I will send out we'll probably send out a survey. I can't take everybody, of course. I'll send out a survey. We'll pick out a few people that I think will fit it. And then we'll take it from there. All right, we got the double body right here, guys. V1 pattern. So we got the double body V1 pattern right here. This candle just has to close green. If it closes green, this is going to be the V1 pattern that we're looking for. There goes a V1 pattern right there. There's a V1 variation right here. I wouldn't personally take it because the trend is bearish. So, obviously we'll see where this goes. I'm also not going to take it if it comes up as a breakout V3 continuation. So I'm going to use this as a tester entry. So I'm going to look for this to push up a little bit, and this will be my tester entry to push price up, right? And then when I see another entry over here, this is where I would take it personally. I would take the next one because I'm going to be trading in the direction of the trend. I discussed this earlier this week. So on, I think Tuesday, we took one loss. It was because we traded against the trend. So for me personally, I'm going to be waiting for the trend to shift to the upside before I start looking for entries. Not to say that this isn't going to play out, but it's a little risky because, when you figure out what happens during the week, like on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when you see what happens during the week and you see these fake outs, odds of those fake outs continuing later in the week are very likely. So I am, and it wouldn't really matter because the V1 variation here did get invalidated. So there's no V1 pattern there. But again, I'm only looking for sells right here at the moment. At this very moment, I'm looking for sells because we have a bearish trend. I typically don't always do this. The trend doesn't always matter to me. But because we ate that loss on Tuesday, I learned from my mistakes. I'm going to be trading in the direction of the trend, at least for this week, because that's how the market's working. So you just have to know how to adapt with the market. You have to know when you have to factor in trend. You don't always have to factor in trend, but this week is one of those weeks where trend is actually important. Short-term trend, because if you look over here at the higher time frames, it's still kind of bullish. Like for the 30 minutes bullish, 1 hour is bullish, 4 hour here is starting to shift bullish. But for the specific 1 minute time frame, it's obviously bearish. So for me personally, I will continue to trade in the direction of the actual trend. Let's see, question from Camel. Camel's asking, is having a buy above the 1 hour rejection wise? Um, sorry, Camel, I'm not sure which one you're talking about. So Camel said, is having a buy above the 1 hour rejection. Are you talking about the 1 hour time frame? I don't see a rejection over here right now, unless there was one earlier. There might have been one and it came down lower. I mean, if you're trading on the 1 hour, obviously you'd be looking for some buys here, but I don't do cross time frame analysis. I feel like so a long time ago, I used to do cross time frame analysis, but I think it's kind of counterproductive because you're gonna have a question like you have right now, Campbell, right? You're asking if like you should take a buy or if it's wise. That's where it kind of throws you off because if you're trading on the 1 minute, you should stick on the 1 minute because if you compare the 1 minute and the 1 hour, these are two opposite directions, right? For the 1 minute, I'm only looking for sells here. If I'm trading on the 1 hour, then I would only be looking for some buys. So I mean, if you're scalping, I don't think cross time frame analysis is really helpful. If you're day trading and you're swing trading, then yeah, it makes sense to use the higher time frames. But for scalping, I would just stick to the lower time frames. I'd probably stick to the 1, 5, and 10 because these are going to tell you what's happening right now. 1 hour doesn't really matter. These candles are so huge that you'd have to take a bigger TP stop loss if you plan on using this as a confluence. I just use these as a longer term confluence, just like with the retail sentiment. Like I take this with a grain of salt, right? This here is 78% short. This doesn't mean that I'm not going to take any sells. It just means that, if we have a buy, it's going to be a better confluence because we have this here. Same with the higher time frames. I'm going to use this as a better confluence, but it's not going to decide my trade. My trade's going to be made off the 1 minute. Oh, gosh. Okay. So you're talking about the zone from this one right here, right, Camel? So let me just reread your question. So let me read. You said, is having a buy above the 1 hour rejection wise? I mean, well, you have all the space right here, Camel. So yeah, I mean, I don't see it being a problem, right? You have like 1,500 pips to take any buys right here. So yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, you can see over here, price pushed past this area. I mean, if you're really looking for an area that would be risky, it'd be past the high from this point because price has already reached this point. If there's a correction, it's going to push at least to this point right here. If you get anywhere higher than this, then okay, that's where it becomes a little risky because this is like area that hasn't been like price hasn't been here yet. So this area would be kind of risky, but you got this whole space right here to take buys. So yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, sorry, I just got confused because I wasn't sure what you were talking about regarding the rejection. But yeah, for the most part, this whole area is okay to trade buys because this is a whole open space for price to correct back up, right? It's the same with liquidity here. So same with this right here. If I do see another double like line next to each other, like two highs in the same area, I would draw another liquidity point right there. So anything above it, anything within this area before it gets to the high point would be okay for some buys, as long as like the trend is shifted. But the trend here is obviously super bearish. So, those entries that we just talked about right here where these highs are at, they're like way up here. So when price does come up, it's going to shift the trend at that point. Yeah, no problem, Camel. It's always good to have an idea, right? This is like analysis paralysis is a real thing. That's why I typically don't like back then we used to use like a bunch of time frames, right? Like I think back in the day we used to like look at every time frame and we would only take trades if everything lined up, right? Like we would make sure that everything was bullish or everything was bearish. If it wasn't all bullish or bearish, we wouldn't take the trade. And in situations like that, you would miss really good entries that happen on the 1 minute. So I think the 1, 5, and 10 are pretty solid because that shows you what's happening right now. The higher time frames are good for just like a bigger overview, but for the most part, not really necessary. Same with retail sentiment. Like this here, retail sentiment is good a lot, like most of the time, But for the past couple of weeks, it's been bearish. Well, for the past couple of months, actually, this has been bearish since I think November or October, right? And we're still taking sells. So it would be helpful to have this in our favor, but it's not necessary. Anyways, guys, there's no entries for us here. You can see price is still kind of tumbling down a bit further. I think this is where the traps are going to be set up, of course, right? People are going to chase this, and then once the traps are set up, it's going to just reverse completely. I think this whole gap right here is going to get filled, like this whole area. Eventually, I don't know when it'll happen, but I think eventually this whole area right here is going to get filled, at least to the liquidity. Because if you measure this, so the overextension here is pretty crazy. If you measure from this higher high down to here, it's actually overextended 2,530 pips. That's a pretty big, or 253 points. I think we'll start to refer to everything as points now, or ticks. We're not really going to use pips anymore because I think our main focus is starting to lead towards apex and futures trading. Since we're here in the US, indices and stuff were never legal to begin with. CFDs we were never supposed to be trading CFDs. So I think we're going to, instead of saying 100, or like instead of saying like 2,000, I'm just going to say 260 pips or ticks. It just makes more sense because we've been on this YM chart for like over a year now, and we should stick to futures for the most part when identifying things. You guys can still trade indices and CFDs and stuff like that, but I think just for the sake of calling these terms, so we don't get mixed up, because sometimes people get confused when you talk about pips versus ticks and pips. Yes, granted it's Friday. So also, guys, keep in mind today's Friday. Today's one of the riskier days to trade. Friday and Monday are typically risky. Friday because people are exiting the market for the weekend. You can see a lot of people are selling off, right? And on Monday, people are entering the market, so you typically get a big push to the upside. So just keep that in mind, guys. So for one, today's Friday. For two, this is a holiday week. We didn't have trading on Monday. So things are kind of screwed up at the moment, of course. Like, I'm expecting some manipulation to happen. I think what's going to happen here is this is going to keep dropping a little bit and then maybe consolidate and range for a bit. And then when the news happens at 7, if it's positive, it's going to climb back up. Let's check the forecast for the news. So the forecast for the news over here is positive. So they're anticipating it to be positive right here. It's a bit of a mix. So Michigan consumer sentiment is forecasted to be slightly positive. Existing home sales is forecasted to be negative, and existing home sales for December is forecasted to be neutral. So positive, negative, neutral. It's a bit of a toss-up, but I mean, we'll see what happens. There's no V1 pattern down here, so there's nothing for us to really look at. We'll see if we get a V1 from the top, and then maybe catch that M pattern, right? There's a lot of different scenarios here that can play out. It's just really waiting for the scenario to really present itself. But once it does, I'll mark it up for you guys, and we'll look for that entry. But again, you just got to be patient. Got to be patient and follow through. Daniel said CNBC posted a 200-point gain this morning and possible all-time high, then the market dumps. Yeah, so like what Daniel said, you can see over here that the stocks rise. Whenever you guys see stuff like this on CNBC, for the most part, do the opposite, right? It says right here, stocks rise on Friday. This was released at 6:41. It says putting 5 inches away from the new record. And then as soon as that happened, price went completely down. So just keep that in mind, guys. CNBC is not your friend. When they report stuff, they're not your friend. They're reporting stuff like super late, and then obviously it's going to come crashing right back down. Even if they reported that earlier. So if they reported this earlier pre-market at 5, you can see price did climb up during London session. And then as soon as they reported that, things just came crashing down. So whenever you guys look at news sources, always do your own due diligence, right? Do your own analysis. From my understanding and from my using of CNBC News, whenever they report something, it's too late. It's already happened. So you typically want to do the opposite. It's the same with retail sentiment, right? When I see retail on one side, I typically want to do the opposite. So just again, take that with take everything with a grain of salt. Take what I'm teaching you and explaining to you with a grain of salt. Always do your own analysis, your own like you should just whenever you guys hear anything from anybody, even myself, like if you guys ever hear me tell you anything or teach you anything, like do your own research, do your own testing, do your own analysis, because there's no right or wrong way to trade. You guys got to keep that in mind. There's never like one way to trade. Like I think I saw a couple prop firms like S&B Capital. You'll see sometimes in these big prop firms, some people will be taking buys and some people will be taking sells, and they're in the same prop firm, right? They all work in the same firm. Just people analyze things differently. So my way is not the only way. I know that my way works, so that's why we follow it. But it's not the only way to trade. So I'm never going to knock somebody's strategy. Like if somebody comes in here and tells me that my strategy sucks, then I'm like, all right, well, I guess it does. And I guess we're just going to make some sucky profits, but we know it works. So obviously that's why we do what we do. But everybody has their own opinion. Yeah, Kenny said, yeah, because all the old folks are at home watching CNBC. They're trying to sell high and buy low. Yeah, that's really what it is, Kenny. You can't follow mainstream media. And that's one thing I've learned over the years, right? I'm a contrarian trader. You guys have seen how I trade. I don't trade like everybody else. So that's it just goes hand in hand with the way that we trade anyways. So it's not like we're going to follow what people announce anyways. We're typically going to do the opposite. So we have a possible V1 pattern right here, guys. This is setting up. Double body rejection. If this candle here closes red, then we will have a double body rejection here. So if not, then price is probably going to keep climbing up. Otherwise, we will see where this ends up going. Let's see. Natasha said, man, I feel like the few months I stepped away, I have to relearn everything all over again. Yeah, guys. Like Natasha over here, she took a little break during the holidays. What I recommend, guys, is that you never take a full break from trading. Like it's okay to take a couple of days from trading, maybe a couple of weeks. But if you guys step away from trading for like a couple of months, you're gonna forget a lot of stuff. And even for Natasha, she's been trading with us here for years now, and you still forget. But the good thing about that is that once you get back onto it, it'll be easy for you to like just relearn everything quickly. So the thing with trading is that the market's never going to stop for you, right? It's not just going to take a pause because you need to take a pause. The market's always changing. It's always shifting. There's always adjustments being made. So, the more that you trade, like for example, for me, since I trade every day, I'm able to adapt with the market super quickly. I never take breaks. I trade at the same time every single day, every single year, every single month. And it makes a difference. You guys can see here because I'm able to analyze things, see a lot of patterns that a lot of people don't. And I'm able to make adjustments whenever necessary. So I think right now the breakout V1, the variation V1 with confluence and breakout V3 with confluence continuation are probably the best options because they work in all types of markets. So for example, right here, if price decides to go sideways, that's fine, right? Because we're going to look for V1 variations. That's completely fine with us because if we see this happen in M pattern for a V1 pattern, that's going to be an entry for us for a ranging market. Again, if price is moving directional, that's fine too, because we'll be looking for some directional trades. There's no breakout V3 continuations here. So as you guys can see, there's a buy signal. There's no green candle following it. So there was no breakout V3 continuation there, even standalone. There was none here. Sell signal, no red candle. Buy signal, no green candle. So overall, there hasn't been any entries today. And we'll just continue to look for any other opportunities here. But I think price is probably going to range until news. So it's 6:54 right now. We have 6 minutes till news. I think the news is really what's going to push price out of this range. Yeah, exactly. Saren said that's a key word, patience. That's really what it is. Camo said, I'd be wanting to look for a good setup, opposite of CNBC News. Yeah, I mean, if you ever see CNBC report something, you can also look for a V1 pattern. I think the V1 pattern is very universal, right? If you have news that comes out and it does the opposite of what it's supposed to do, look for that V1 pattern and you can look for the correction back to the proper side. That's usually what you can look for. Sasha, I just saw your message. Yeah, Drew said he took a break during the holidays and sat back and watched the live and learned. Yeah, if you guys ever take a break from trading, I think that your fastest way to get back up to speed is just to rewatch the live sessions because we do the same thing every day. So if you watch like the probably the past 2 or 3 live sessions, you'll be able to come back to what we're doing pretty quickly. All right, guys, there's still no entries. We have news coming up in about 4 minutes. So there's nothing for us to take here. We're pretty much just going to sit tight, wait for something here to play through, and then we'll see where price pushes, whether it pushes above or whether it pushes back down below. Doesn't really matter to us. We're just going to wait for the criteria to present itself. Hey, Steve, how's it going? Yeah, Steve said he's been out for the week. FTMO not being an option for US clients. Do you have a recommendation for a prop firm that will allow YM trading? Yes. Definitely. That's what we've been using right here, Steve. So here are a couple like payouts that we got or that our members. I created a new group here, guys, called Team Milestones. This is where I'll post everybody's passing and payout. So we have Kenneth over here. This is Apex. He got paid out 2,750. His second account made 2,000. Janesh here made 1,300. These are all people getting their first payouts from Apex. Also, we had Johnny over here, got his payout of 5,300 on FTMO. We have Gian here. He made 2,500 on FTMO. But you guys can see a lot of people here. Here's a CT made 2,700 for 4 accounts on Apex. So I'll post a link right there. So if you want to check them out, there's it's just a different trading platform. It's not an MT4. We use Tradovate or NinjaTrader. But Steve, there goes I put a promo code in the chat. So if you guys use that promo code, today's the last day to use it. It's 80% off Apex. So basically, if you sign up to Apex, it's normally like 375 for a 150K account. It's only like 60 bucks. It's so cheap. So it's kind of like, why not give it a shot, you know? So if you guys want to try it out, just, another reminder, it's going to expire today, guys. So if you guys haven't opened an account, here's the link right there. Yeah, I think it's like 60 bucks because it's 80%. I know my first accounts, they were like 71% off. So it was like 90 bucks, but the 80% off, it knocks it down to like 60 bucks. So it's so cheap. I'll post a link here as well, guys, just so that you guys have it. And if you guys miss it, it's fine. You guys can wait for the next one. They typically do a sale like every month, but that's kind of where it's at right now. Let's see. Just so nobody has a bad surprise, the $5 per contract is for YM only. Yeah, so I mean, we only trade YM. So you guys can see over here in the Discord, Mimi over here said that there's, it's valued different. It's always been valued different. Even when you trade FX or you trade anything else. Like if you were to trade US30 and you compare that to NASDAQ or you compare NASDAQ to S&P, the value is always different, right? So it's no different from trading contracts versus trading Forex or indices. The price has always been different. It's never been the same for US30, YM, and or US30, S&P, NASDAQ. That's why I don't trade NASDAQ because it's like way different. It's just too much of a headache for me to like figure out what everything's worth. All right, guys, here goes the news candle. Let's check out the news real quick, see where it's at. Let's see, Chase is asking, can we use social trader tools for Apex? No, they have a better copier, a way better copier that you don't have to pay monthly for. I pay like about 300 bucks for social trader tools every month. And for Apex, we use this copier on NinjaTrader. It's like 100 bucks or 150 bucks, and it's just a one-time fee. So no, you can't use social trader tools. That's only for MT4 and MT5, but they have a better solution with their own platform, NinjaTrader, or not their own platform, but the platform that futures traders trade on. Which I'm glad, because I'm tired of paying that monthly fee for social trader tools. I'm still gonna pay because I still have accounts with them, but I'm glad that like once I give up my MT4 accounts, I don't have to pay that fee every single month. All right, so the news for today, guys, was pretty much mixed. So looking over here at consumer sentiment, it was bullish. It was actually really bullish, very positive news. Existing home sales was a lot more negative than expected, and existing home sales for December also negative. So pretty much mixed news. There's not going to be a news correction type entry that we're looking for because it's pretty much back and forth. We'll have to look for another opportunity here. So there's no news correction entry. And we'll just continue looking for any opportunities here. Let's see, Chase is asking, how do you manage both accounts with both copiers? I mean, it's easy. You got two hands, right? I got a mouse for FTMO and I got a laptop over here for Apex. It's not that hard. You just got to click buy or sell with one finger. You need one finger to hit buy or one finger to hit sell. Or one, yeah, you need fast hands. You want to take a karate class, some quick hands. I'm messing with you guys. Let me plug my charger in. I forgot to plug my charger for my laptop. Yeah, you said Edward Scissorhands. Yeah, you got to get a. I'm gonna have to come up with a course to increase your hand speed. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Let me plug in my laptop. So no, but all jokes aside, I just use two hands. It's not that difficult. I have one finger that's on my see, this is the thing I hate about PCs. I swear every morning there's a new update. It says Windows is continuously improving. You want to restart now? No, I definitely don't want to restart now. I feel like every morning when I'm trading on the live, there's some update for Windows. And I want to make sure I don't accidentally click on it. But yeah, I gotta figure out how to do this. I still don't know how to use a computer. I haven't had a computer since like high school. So all this is new to me. I'll have to go into the settings and figure that out. See Kenny. Nice. So big congrats to Kenny over here. He just passed his verification, got funded on FTMO. I'll respond to your message a little later, Kenny, but big congrats to you right here. Another person in our group, Kenny, just got passed on FTMO. Nice work. So I'll put yours over here under milestones, Kenny. Solid. So yeah, great work, guys. Seems like there's somebody who's getting, who's passing or getting funded or getting a payout every couple of days. And that's always a good thing because I think it brings morale for the entire group, right? You guys see somebody else here in the group passing, making money trading and progressing. It kind of motivates everybody else to do the same. So let's see. See, Craig said once he gets his FTMO payout next week, we'll take a look at Apex. Yeah, Vamal said similar. However, he spent 3 hours yesterday evening watching YouTube and the FAQ and bugging Sean. Yeah. I mean, I'm still learning how to use it too, Craig, but it's not that difficult. I mean, I'm you could probably reach out to a couple people in the group. What the fuck? No. Fuck no. Sorry, guys, 1 second. My computer is trying to update right now and it's trying to shut everything down. How the fuck do I stop this? Sorry, guys. Pause updates for like years. Pause updates for 5 weeks. It's okay. There's no entries for us here to take anyways. But let me see. Okay. So pause updates. There we go. Man, so annoying. It's okay. Because the pop-up came up, it asked me if I wanted to restart my computer. And I said no. And then it still tried to restart it right now. So I just paused there for like 3 months. I'll figure out how to fix that. Figure out how to get that later. All right, sorry guys. I know we're kind of going off topic. I'm kind of all over the place, but there's no entries for us here. We currently have a sell signal, so this is a good thing. There's no V1 variation pattern here, so there is no breakout V3 continuation. Even if we did get a breakout V3 continuation right here, I personally wouldn't have taken it because it's right at the sessions. If you guys want to take this as an entry, I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take this entry here because it is right at the sessions, right? So if this here closes, this is a standalone breakout V3 continuation. This is actually the breakout V3 in general because the breakout V3 hasn't came up yet. So again, I'll mark it up for you guys, but it's at the sessions, which is considered a red flag. And we're going to skip it. So here's the entry right there. It's currently running. It's probably going to hit profit, but it's not one that I would personally take myself. So if you guys want to learn the strategy, or hold on, we'll just watch it first. There you go, full TP. So full TP right there. If you guys want to learn the strategy, and this is available to everybody, you don't have to be a premium member or anything like that. You just won't have the indicators, but you'll be able to learn the strategy so that you can follow along on these live sessions. If you want to learn this, go to our website, kodikaitrades.com. Click on unlock your free access. Go down to module 4, main strategies. Go to module 4.1, breakout V3 continuation with confluence. Once you open that, you have the video here for the breakout V3 continuation, the continuation confluence, and the red flags. So everything is lined up here, guys, for you. I pretty much organized it in order. Each video is probably like a minute or 2 minute long. So you guys are able to watch that without getting distracted. I know everybody here has ADD and you guys can't just sit there and watch a video that's 15 minutes long. So I've cut up all the videos where they're only a few minutes long. That way you guys don't get distracted and you guys can just watch the video, understand how it works, and then be able to apply these strategies with us on the live session. So, all right, guys, if anybody caught it, nice work. I don't have anything here for me to take. I didn't take the trade myself. So even though it hit full TP, I'm not counting this as an official trade. The only trades that count official are the ones that I take myself. So, me being fully transparent with you guys, I'm not going to pad my trades because it's unnecessary. You guys saw our results from last year. There's no need for me to add trades to our win rate when our win rate's already high as is. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have props to post from that, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, we will continue to look for opportunities here as you move forward. Let's see. So we got nothing else here right now. Let's see, I think Steven wants this. Let's get it here from Steven. It's been a while. So we have a low right here, guys, but there's no V1 pattern. So again, right here, we have a low. We have a low, high, low, but there's no V1 patterns on any of them. So again, it's just a waiting game. We got to be a little patient and wait for this here to provide us opportunity for entry. Again, if there's no good entries available today, I'm not going to force any trades. I'm hoping we get one, though, at least one. Typically between 7 and 7:45, this is going to be sweet spot for entry time. The ATR is still very high, so we still have some pretty good opportunity here. Let me check this real quick. Yeah, Maddie said this range is super wide. It's currently at 130 points, so it's pretty far out. You just got to be patient and wait for this entry to come to us. Presumably, I'd probably like price to push up. You know, price has been dropping for a while. I'd like to see price push up. Provide something like this. Let me take that buy up to the opening price, or even take it up here. Like I'll be okay with taking a buy down here, and I'll be okay with taking a buy up here too, right? It could be a nice setup right there. V1 pattern off this, and then a breakout V3 continuation. Let's see. Kenny said MPS hit. So let's see. It looks like there was probably a momentum pullback scalp. Yeah, right here. So I don't know if anybody caught that. Kenny identified it. It came up right here and went straight. It was right at the sessions. So I personally would not have taken it. But we had a sell signal right here. Price came down. This green candle right here retraced up. Your entry would have happened right here at the 90 mark. So you take the sell right there. And you can see it came right back down to full TP. So again, if you guys want to learn this strategy is also on the course. Again, just go to the website, sign up for the unlock your free access. And then if you go to module 4, right here, momentum pullback scalp strategy, the video is right there for momentum pullback scalp strategy 1, and the second video right here. It's 2 videos explaining the same strategy. So again, the course is fully updated, guys. So if you guys want to go to the course, I mean, it's free access. So, and there's nothing stopping you from learning my strategies. You just got to want to learn. Yeah, Maddie said 2 entries on a Friday would be an amazing way to end the week. Yeah, I agree too, Maddie. I'm hoping so. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. Yeah, Maria said on Friday after session, look for an update. Yeah, I think after this live session, I'll just update my I'll update my computer. So guys, just a heads up, if you guys are trying to use Apex, if you guys go to the Apex website, so here, I'll pull it up for you guys. All right, so if you go to the Apex website, if you guys have any questions, so guys, there's only 6 hours left in the for the 80% off. So if you guys use that link that I sent in, there's only 6 hours left. So if you guys want to get that 80% off, you can get a 150K account for like $60, which is super cheap. But yeah, if you guys want to have any questions on Apex, just go to FAQ right here. You can literally type in whatever you want, but everything is broken down for you guys here. You just have to actually look. Like literally everything that you ever have wanted to ask is in here. You could ask any question you want, Craig, if you want to look in here. It's going to take you some time, but you know, like I mentioned, I think it's best that you learn for yourself with your own due diligence, because the last thing you want to do is have have Vimal teach you something, right? You're going to ask Vimal like, hey, Vimal, can I use TradingView with a Rhythmic account? And then Vimal's going to say, yeah. And then you're going to sign up with a Rhythmic account, and then you can't use Tradeovate or TradingView. And then you're just going to be mad at Vimal, right? So I recommend that you just double check it yourself, because it's easier to just find it directly from Apex versus asking somebody and they give you the wrong info. Because you got to keep in mind, everybody's new to Apex. There's nobody. Well, there's 2 people who are probably masters at Apex. They're like our support team. It's like Maddie and Sisu. Those are the 2 people that I would only take information from regarding Apex. I wouldn't take information from anybody else, because none of us are really like familiar with it just yet. I've only been using Apex for a week, so I'm not even the person that you should ask about Apex just yet. There's only 2 people that I know that have been using Apex for like maybe over a year now. Yeah, Maddie said I'm retired from giving information about Apex until further notice. I know Maddie's been getting blown up. Like everybody's been hitting up Maddie. So I don't blame you, Maddie. All right, guys. So price is kind of going sideways right here. There's no entries available for us at the moment. There's no V1 patterns on either side. You can see there's a low here, no V1 pattern, a high here, no V1 pattern. It was close, but not close enough. So you can see from this high point right here, there was almost a double wick, but not exactly. So there's no V1 pattern there. Also right here, again, there's no V1 pattern. It's just in a heavy consolidation phase right now. So don't worry, guys. You guys are not missing out on anything. If anything, I'm as glued to the screen as you guys are, because I really want to get at least one entry today to wrap up this trading week. Let's see, Chase is asking what account should we get with Apex? So, I mean, it's just really up to your preference. If you're going for the long-term route, so for me, I think the best accounts, if you're going long-term for the 20 accounts, is going to be 150K. But if you're new and you're still trying to get a hang of things and stuff like that, let me see, I think the 25K and the 50K are the best options. So the 50K, the 25K and the 50K are the best options because you have the most risk here. Like you can take as much like the most risk with these two accounts. The downside is you're not gonna make a lot of profit on these accounts. So you can have a total of 20 accounts, right? I'm going for 20 150K accounts. I currently have 5 right now. I'm doing increments of 5. So I'm doing 5. Once I get 5 passed and funded and paid out, then I buy another 5. And then I buy another 5, and then I buy another 5. The reason why I'm doing that is because if you multiply, so 150K times 20, I'll be able to have 3 million in funding, right? And then you have pretty good, I mean, it's not great drawdown, but it's probably the most decent drawdown for the risk that you're taking. For every trade that I take, I'm only risking about 1%. So you have a 3% risk drawdown. So let's see this, let's see 150K divided by 5,000. Oh shit, sorry. 5,000 divided by 150K. So you basically have a 3.3%. This is how much you can lose. This is your max drawdown. For every trade that I take here in the live session, I'm only risking 1%. So I have to lose like basically 4 times back to back before I blow my account. So it's almost impossible. We never lose 4 times. I've never lost like I think twice back to back. So I pretty much calculated it where I'm not going to pass really quick, but I'm going to pass eventually. It's going to take some time. I got to win about like 18 trades to pass the what is this? The evaluation. But I'm basically making it impossible for me to blow. So, the lower accounts are good because your risk toward, or your max loss ratio is higher. But if you want a good sweet spot, I think 150K is probably going to be the best option. But you can't be YOLOing it. So the thing that you got to keep in mind, guys, is that this is more strict than FTMO. I think Apex is probably one of the hardest, not so hard, it's not one of the hardest. It just depends on the person. If you can stick to your trading plan, like what we're doing here on the live, it's inevitable. You'll pass your Apex. You'll see how many people here who have gotten funded and paid out with Apex, right? It's not impossible. It's just these people are able to follow directions, right? Janesh follow directions, Kenneth follow directions, CT follow directions. I mean, he's doing his own thing, but he still follow directions. Everybody here who got passed, like there's a bunch of people who've gone past on Tradeovate, right? It's not just a few people, it's a lot of people. You just have to understand, the risk, because with FTMO, I feel like people just YOLO accounts. That's why people blow accounts so fast. They think, oh, I can lose 10%. And they're like, okay, I'm going to take like a 5% risk per trade. And then they blow their account in one day. For Apex, it's a slow grind. It's going to take some time, but it's possible. So just keep that in mind. You just got to keep that in mind. I feel like everybody treats FTMO and TFF like gambling. So they're able to, like they'll pass in a day, but then they'll blow their account right after. For Apex, they kind of force you to take it slow so that you don't blow your account like ever. So you guys just got to keep that in mind. I'm always looking out for you guys' best interest, but it's always going to be a bit tough depending on the person who's using it. Yeah, I'm doing 10 contracts per trade, Lamal. So I'm risking 1% to make about like 0.33 per trade. So it's gonna be a slow grind, but I'm okay with it. Yeah, Maddie said 18 months. I mean, 18 trades is 1 month. Yeah. So just one month of full trading and you'll be pretty much solid. All right, this is perfect, guys. So we're starting to get that bullish push. This is exactly what I drew up earlier. So if you guys remembered, I said I would be perfectly fine if price comes up like this and provides this W, V1 variation right here. So I can take this for a buy. And now it's just, we just gotta wait for it. It's gonna happen. So I'll be okay with that. And then also breakout V3 continuation up here, that as well. So I drew this up for you guys earlier. I said this is what I was looking for. And it looks like it's finally starting to play out. So we just gotta wait. Maddie said, Sean, show that dude on the Apex Instagram. Oh yeah, how do we pull that up? I don't know how you get that, Maddie. You know, it kind of blows my mind that Apex decided to use this guy. There's nothing wrong with the guy, but but like if this guy got funded and is getting payouts, so can you. Like I don't know how they came up with the idea to use this guy as their oh, I can't even copy it. But anyways, if you guys go over to the Apex website, how do I share this thing? See if I can pull it up over here. I mean, this is Apex's spokesperson. I don't know what made them think to. Anyways, you guys can go look. It's not coming up on mine, but but yeah, if you guys go on the Apex YouTube channel, they have this guy who just gave his testimonial. There's nothing wrong with the guy. I'm just saying it's like it's kind of like this guy doesn't seem like he knows anything about trading, but he killed it and did passion. He's like, there's no entries for us guys, so don't worry, you're not missing out on anything. I don't know how this doesn't copy over to my computer. Usually I have a link that copies over to it. Oh, there we go.
Funding, just passed a couple evaluations, waiting on two more. It's time to get these checks coming in. Y'all better get on the bus now while you can with Apex 1 day evaluation. I'm passing them like clockwork. Everybody.
I mean, he has his little charts in the back. I don't know what kind of charts those are, but he does have his charts in the back. So nothing wrong with the guy. I'm just saying it's kind of crazy that like these like this guy this video like the quality of the video as his testimonial. But if this guy can do it, man, anybody can do it, right? So um yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on in this video. I think Nick was even looking over here as well. Uh, you know, the speaker in the background, the router. I mean, he could be a trader, but yeah, just yeah, Jonathan said he's locked in. Well, I mean, if he's getting paid out and he's getting promoted by Apex, then you know, why can't you? So there's just a lot of stuff going on in the background of that video. If you guys want to watch it, just pull up the Apex channel and you guys will see it there. All right, so looking at this right here, I'm looking for a V1 pattern. We currently have a low right here, but I'm looking for a V1 pattern to set up and then look for that to push up. Joshua said, that's bruh man from Martin Lawrence. Oh man. Yeah, only some people will remember that, Josh. But I know who you're talking about. John said paid actor. Nick said, dude's got milk crates in the background, laptop held by milk crates on an old ass computer. Yeah. So the thing is that like you don't really need a crazy computer to trade on NinjaTrader. I mean, I bought a pretty nice computer, but that's just because I could. But for the most part, you can trade with like any type of computer. I think one of the guys in the group trades with like a Chromebook. All right, so let's see what else we got over here. Yeah. T said, start with the bomb, now we're here. Yeah, exactly. Kenny said, he's getting them checks. That's all that matters. He's doing his thing, motivation. Exactly. Yeah, Kevin said, this is the meaning of getting out of the mud. Real motivation, funny as hell, but being from the trenches, you can only respect it. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with the guy. It's just, I mean, if he's getting it out, if he's like making it happen with Apex, he probably just follows like it goes back to what I was saying before, guys. I think anybody could get trading as long as you follow directions. Um, but a common thing that I see, and don't worry, guys, we're not missing any trades here. I'm like glued on the screen looking for this V1 pattern to come up. But like what I was saying earlier, guys, I think greed is the biggest problem for a lot of people because if you're here on the live session, you can make profits every single day. They're not going to be flashy profits. Like you're going to make profits here and there, but you're not going to make like 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 a day on like one account, like a lot of these like, trading gurus do. And I think that does a disservice to a lot of people because a lot of people think it's super possible, but it's really unrealistic for someone to catch like 1,000 pips or 1,000 points every single day, around the clock with no losses. Like it's crazy. But like I was saying, if you just follow directions, like probably what that spokesperson did for Apex, if you just follow directions and not go off track, you'll be perfectly fine. You'll make like a couple $100 here and there, and then you'll add another account, then you'll make a couple $1,000, add another account, a couple thousand more bucks, and etc. So just yeah, exactly. Lisa said it's not what the package looks like, it's what they understand. Yeah, that's really what it is. It doesn't matter what you look like, guys. Like you can look like anything. I've seen some traders in the world that have like they don't look like a trader at all. They don't look like they'd even know how to use a computer, but like they're like killing it. There's traders all over the place that are killing it. It just depends on like how you take the information and how you can obviously use it to your advantage. But anyways, there's nothing here right now, guys, as you guys can see. I was looking for a V1 pattern. There's still no V1 pattern. It's 7:30 right now, but we still have some time. We have about 30 minutes till 8. So I'm going to hang around and continue looking for entries. The good thing here is that the volatility is still up. The volatility is not down to 15, so it's still moving. So there's still opportunity here for entry. We just have to wait, and eventually this entry will come up. It's just let's see. And him said he was getting chick. He thought the spokesperson said he was getting chicks. I mean, he probably is at this point. He's getting chicks and checks at the same time. In those Apex checks. But the thing that I trust with Apex is that we have members in here who have gotten paid out. So this is why I use Apex because Kenneth here got paid out, Janesh got paid out, CT got paid out. That's why I started using Apex because initially I wouldn't jump to another funding company until I had some sort of proof that they're paying out. And I've seen bank accounts. So like people have showed me their bank accounts, they're getting paid out. So it's trustworthy, in my opinion. Nick said you guys remember MFF? Yeah, are they back up now finally? Let me see my Forex funds. No, website's still down. Yeah. Well, so that's the thing. MFF kind of started like it all started from MFF, right? When MFF got taken down, they just started snitching on everybody. They started snitching on FTMO, they started snitching on like basically all the other companies. And that's why a lot of these other companies are catching fire from it. Um, I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is. That's just how the market is. That's why I like to use Apex, because Apex is actually, it's allowed and it's regulated here in the US. So I'm not expecting any problems to happen with Apex. And I think Apex is partnered with one of the Shark Tank guys too. If you guys watch that video, I think there's like an interview with Kevin Harrington. He's like one of the original Shark Tank hosts. And you know, if he's going to back the company, then you know, I'm pretty sure he did his due diligence because he's not trying to get sued over some dumb stuff either. Anyways, there's a possible breakout V3 continuation here that's setting up, guys. It's not one that I would take because there's no confluence, but there is a breakout V3 continuation that is setting up right here. There's a buy signal, and it is if you get a green candle over here, this could possibly provide an entry, but I'm not really seeing anything here right now. Let's see. Daniel said everyone back FTX. Yeah, but FTX is a different story. I wouldn't back any like I feel like cryptocurrency is like that was something that was like so like even till this day I still don't really trust. Well, it's not that I don't trust it, but I just don't I don't like putting money in things that I don't understand. So with FTX, there was a lot of regulation that wasn't, or I mean Bitcoin in general, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't really established. The thing with the futures market is that it's been around for so long that I'm not expecting this to like all of a sudden the futures market is illegal, right? So that's the main difference between like I think personally with FTX and like Apex in general. But no, I totally agree with you, Daniel. Like, you know, everyone did kind of back them. They had a bunch of sponsors, but I feel like FTX was a big cash grab for everybody, right? Just like the NFT space, like whoever was able to pull money from the crypto space, they were like everybody would sponsor them. It didn't matter any like all those NFTs that people were pushing, like all the athletes, they're getting a huge cut of it, of course. But yeah, it's just I feel like those are it's so crazy how they got away with that stuff. Yeah, exactly. Daniel said those CryptoPunk guys made a killing selling those NFTs. I know, it's nuts. It's crazy. All right, guys, so we have another V1 pattern over here. There was no breakout V3 continuation. This was supposed to be a green candle, but it didn't come up, so there's no entry there. There's also no V1 variation pattern here either. So again, we're just waiting, patiently waiting for this V1 pattern to come up. Once it comes up, we'll start looking for a possible entry, hopefully. That's going to be the starting point. Starting point is going to be the V1 variation pattern. So we're looking for a double body, double wick off of a low. And once we have that, we can start looking for a possible entry. All right, so we have a possible V1 pattern right here. And I'm hoping it closes with that invalid signal as well. That'd be perfect. Vimal said he has a question. In FTMO, the live account is real money. No, it's never been real. None of these funding companies, well, I'll take that back. Not none of them. Apex actually they have a live account, and Top Step has a live account. It says like it's a different type of account. It says live account on it. But FTMO, I don't think they've never had real money in the account. They even confirmed it in their interview. They said they've never given real money. They have a new company that they partnered with, which is analytics company, but like FTMO, I don't think they've ever given any live accounts. There's been funded accounts, but they've never been like there's never been money in it. So with Apex, yeah, Apex has two different accounts. If you have a PA account, that's where they copy your trades. If you have a live account, that's where you have real money in the account. There's two different accounts when you get funded. Once you get, or not funded, once you pass, like once you get past, you pass and you get funded, they'll put you in two different categories. Either you're really good and they'll just give you real money right away and you get a better payout. Or if you're kind of okay, but you're not there yet, they'll give you an account, which is called a PA. And that's where they copy the trades. So it's in the FAQs too, if you want to look at that. Well, I know you were talking about the FAQs earlier. You probably have to look a little deeper, but they do have some details about the differences between the accounts. Yep, no problem. And it's the same with Top Step too. Top Step calls their PA accounts XFA, and then they have another account where it's like funded or whatever. All right, guys. So we currently have a V1 pattern over here. Finally, let's see if we can get something going over here. So we got a V1 pattern right here, and you price to push a bit further for a possible buy entry. All right. Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure the big problem with MFF is that they have their own server broker and they were caught manipulating. Yeah, exactly. That's what happened with that, and then they ended up getting caught up with everything else. It was the same thing that happened with funding talent. They did the same thing as well. All right, guys. So we have a possible buy entry right here setting up. We need a buy signal to come up. We have the V1 pattern right here. We have pending buy signal. We'll see if we get a green candle after this. And then this will be a breakout V3 continuation. I'm just hoping the candle's not too big. I'm also hoping that we don't get like this, like forever back and forth movement like we did last time. Like the pending buy signal that lasts for like 20 minutes. Okay, so we don't have the buy signal here. It might come up on the next one. All right, here we go with the range. So we currently have a pending buy signal here. It's invalid. The trend here hasn't really confirmed yet. So this is going to be kind of like, it's going to be a little tricky because we don't have a bullish trend. I mean, price is attempting to shift to the upside. It's going to align with pretty much the higher time frames. Everything else is kind of still like bearish or it's kind of mixed. The volatility is still pretty decent though. So the volatility is at 18 right now. It's not like super great, but it's still decent. So we'll see right here. And we just got to wait for this buy signal to come up. Once the buy signal comes up, we can start looking for another opportunity. See if this here closes. Nope. No buy signal yet. Wait. 7:38. So it's getting close to the time that like you guys were talking about. I think a lot of you guys mentioned, between 7 and 7:45 is like when the entry comes up. And it's just right on the dot. It's getting close to that point, but still no opportunity here. I'm just hoping it doesn't come down too low, because if it comes down too low, it's going to establish a new low. We currently have a high here already. So if this thing comes down too low, it's going to establish a new low, and then we're not going to have this V1 variation pattern from down here anymore. So it's one thing to keep in mind. I think this, and I like how price is kind of consolidating here a little bit, because eventually when it does push up, it's going to establish a bullish trend, right? I just don't want this to drop any lower. The lower it drops, and there we go. Oh, fuck. So now we have a low here. This is exactly what I didn't want to happen, because now this V1 pattern is no longer useful to us. It's pretty much irrelevant. All right, so we have to look for another V1 pattern, unfortunately, guys. Unless we get a buy signal in here, which I don't think we will. So this is exactly what I was hoping not to happen, but it happened. Yeah, Randy said a double V1 could be nice. It would be nice, but we wouldn't be able to take the trade because it would be touching the sessions. So that would be nice for it to come down. and double body off this. But I guess we'll see. Yeah, Patricia said she has a feeling no trade today. Yeah, same here. I'm not going to force anything. If it doesn't come up and it doesn't come up, there's no V1 patterns here for us. So this V1 pattern is no longer useful, unfortunately. We still got 20 minutes till 8, so I'll hang out with you guys to see if anything comes up. But again, I'm not going to force anything. There might be a V3 variation, or sorry, a V3 continuation that might come up right here, but I'm not going to take it even if it does come up because it doesn't meet my criteria. Does not meet the criteria for my confluence. All right, guys. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'll keep looking for an entry here. Hopefully, we'll get another V1 pattern. Like at this point, I don't care if price drops down lower. I actually want this to come down lower to knock this one out, but all right. So you guys can see all the high lows right here. This is kind of indicating that there's no direction now. There's like definitely no direction now because there's high lows like at every candle. These over here were actually better. You can see how they're spread out, high, low, and then right here, it's just kind of bunched up now. There's a nice W pattern right here. Actually, both of the patterns that I was looking at came up right here. There's a nice W right here, but it wasn't a V1 pattern. And it was also bearish, so I wouldn't have taken it at this point. It's a nice W right there, and then also right here, the M, but more of a breakout V3 type pattern, lower M. But let's see, Randy said it looks like a triangle if you zoom out. Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like a head and shoulders, right? Yeah, squeezing out of the breakout. Squeezing to breakout. So this right here is like a triangle, like you mentioned. I think this is one you referred to, right? Maddie mentioned that this would be a triple confluence if it closes with a buy signal. Yeah, if it does, right? And then it comes right back down. Like as soon as it looks like a good entry, it comes right back down. I'm not going to take it as a triple confluence, but I guess we could follow it. Frustrating market for a Friday. I was really hoping we get at least one, but we have 18 minutes until 8. So if there's any questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat. See, we got some team profits over here. So here we go with Johnny. Johnny locked in a total profit of 2,200 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Johnny. And here is his Apex account, total profit of 380 on the first account, 455 on the second, 605 on the third, and 605 on the fourth. Nice work, Johnny. All wins for the day. And then we have Craig over here as well, total profit of 1,650. All wins here. Nice work, Craig. All right, guys, solid work right there so far. Yeah, Kenny said volatility is high, so that's good. Yeah, that's a good thing. The good thing is that volatility is still there, so we can still probably still see something happen, but at the moment it's a bit of a toss-up. So there's a breakout V3 continuation that might come up right here, but like I mentioned, I'm not going to take it because there's no confluence there. I'm only taking A+ entries. I'm not taking anything that's anything less. So there's another V1 pattern right here too. The market's kind of tricky because there's no direction to trend. You can see the trend here shifts like a bunch of times. It was bearish, then bullish, then bearish, then bullish again. And then if we get a V1 pattern over here, this could be another swing back down. So again, if this closes green, this is going to be a breakout V3 continuation. I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take the trade. It doesn't meet my A+ setup, so I'm not going to force this trade here. It's probably going to push up to opening price. So there goes the entry right there. Not in the position, but like I said, we'll follow it. So oh, this market's got me yawning. So again, guys, I'm not in this position right here. We're just following it. This is a breakout V3 continuation by itself, no confluence. It doesn't meet my criteria for my it doesn't meet my criteria for a breakout V3 with confluence, because I would need a reversal pattern from the bottom side. Not to say that it's not going to play out, but it's just not one of the setups that I would personally be looking to take. And it's probably going to play through because the target price point is going to be opening price, of course, right? That's where price is likely to reach. Probably not going to be a smooth move, but eventually. So what I would maybe look for here is I'd look for a V1 pattern down here. If I see a V1 come up from down here, then that can be the correction back to the upside. This might come down and then correct back up like a head and shoulders. You can see the shoulder, head, shoulder, continuation to the upside, inverted head and shoulder. Exactly. Jonathan said no confluence, no trade. Exactly. I'm happy with my profits for the day. Anyways, I'm not really too concerned. Let's see. I'm going to add up my profits for the week so far. We'll come back to this. There's nothing happening anyways. So let's go to our spreadsheet. So here is our spreadsheet, and here are our trades for the week. So we have this over here on Friday. That was last Friday. We had this breakout V3 on, let's see, the 16th at 6:43. 6:43 at sell win for 100 pips. Breakout V3 continuation. We had one loss this week on the 17th right here. So 17th at 6:55, it was a loss for a sell. First loss of the year. It was at 6:55. I think this was actually breakout V2. This is for breakout V3 continuation. There's a V1 that happened right after 7:01. Buy. And then I think we had one trade yesterday, right? Breakout V3 continuation. Yesterday at 7:42. That was for full TP. So if anybody caught the trade there, full TP, guys, off the breakout V3 continuation. Just want to finish this right here. It's just for a buy. So as you guys can see, we had 3 wins and 1 loss. So I'm basically at break even for the week, which is fine. First loss of this year was on Wednesday, which was one that we could have avoided, but it's all good. But yeah, guys, if anybody caught the there was two entries that came up right here. So there was a triple confluence for anybody who would look to take that. That's what Maddie was looking for earlier. This candle broke and closed past this high, or it broke past this high too. And this was a triple confluence for a buy. And then on top of that, there was a breakout V3 continuation. Buy signal followed by a green candle. And it shot right through for a full TP. So if anybody thought that, nice work. There was also a momentum pullback scalp as well. Price pushed up, retraced right here. Actually, there's no, I don't think there was or there's one right here that's currently running, it looks like. Price pushed up, retraced on this candle right here. Entry would have happened right here. And well, I mean, it looks like price was like overextended, so I don't think I would have taken that one specifically from this lower low right here. Yeah, price was already up like 85 points. You know, due to the range here, anything above 75 would be considered overextended. If price wasn't ranging, then it'd be over 1,000. But right here, price is obviously ranging. So from this lower low right here to this point, I would consider that overextended. I mean, it can still come up. I think it's still technically running right now. So the momentum pullback scalp was right here. And it's actually still running at the moment. Right there. I'm not sure. Did you catch it, Randy? Looks like it's about to hit your TP. Yeah, full TP right there. So, I mean, depends if like you would have taken it. I personally wouldn't because price was going back and forth right here. Like price kept going back and forth. So this would be considered a range. If you guys pull up the strategy for the momentum pullback scalp, you know, it says right here, take caution if price is overextended 75 to 100 points, which is kind of where it was at. And then you also want to avoid it when price is ranging. So for me personally, I would have skipped it. You know, like I mentioned, I'm only looking for A+ setup. So unless it's like a really, really good entry, I'm not going to take it. But you can see a lot of entries here still hit. So depending on which strategy you guys are looking at, again, if you guys are new here and you guys want to see these strategies, just go to the course. The course has every strategy here that we cover. If you're curious what strategy it is, you just, you know, ask in the chat, somebody will let you know. And then you can look up the actual strategy on the course. But yeah, right now, there's just nothing for us to take. It's not looking like we're going to get any more entries for today. All right, Maria. Maria said, have a nice weekend. I better sit on my hands today. Yeah, probably best decision right there, Maria. I'm sitting on my hands too. Haven't taken any trades today. I'm break even for the week, which is okay. I'd rather be at break even than in the negative. So not too bad. I was really hoping we'd get at least like one solid entry today, like we typically do, but this whole week has kind of been a toss-up anyways. So, all right, Patricia, we'll see you back here on Monday. But guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Looks like we're going to wrap this up pretty soon. I don't have any profits to post myself, but if you guys do have profits to share, you know, feel free to send them in. We have Andreas over here, some more profits, total profit of 1,242. It looks like he took that trade right there for a full TP and locked in some good profits. Nice work, Andreas. Other than that, I don't think there's much over here to see yet. So Amelia over here said, today I successfully completed my first FTMO challenge. Been trading for a year and a half, and he's failed several challenges. He was a premium member for over a year, decided to take a break, work on his trade psychology. He was having trouble letting his trades hit TP and managing his emotions, but he's gained a lot of confidence to analyze on his own. Yeah, no, definitely. So Amelia said, today he succeeded with some strategies that he's adapted for mine and being live on the YouTube. I'd like to thank Sean for each of his analysis and for the structure he gives the market and presence every morning. I was an inexperienced trader. Now, thanks to this group, I'm consistent. Couldn't have reached this level so quickly without Sean. And thanks to all the people who asked and answered questions. Your contribution really helped them a lot. Truly grateful. Yeah, definitely, Amelia. I'm glad to see that. So big congrats to Amelia over here. He finally completed his first FTMO challenge, which, you know, it's a big feat for a lot of people, guys. Like a lot of people don't ever get to that phase where they you know, they can even pass a challenge. So, you know, huge congrats to Amelia. Guys, you know, it's just really sticking to your game plan. You don't have to trade my strategies. You don't have to follow what I do. You can just use my analysis as a guide for you. That's really what it is. Use my structure, use my analysis, and that'll pretty much help you guys get to that next level. Because there's, like I mentioned before, there's no one way to trade. There's a ton of ways to trade, and it's just really up to you figuring out what works best for you. So here's our clean chart. I'm just gonna mark up structure here so that you guys can see, where price is, kind of where it's at and where it's going, which is kind of like nowhere. There's not really too much going on here. Let me turn this off. And as you guys can see, price has pretty much been ranging all day today. It came down right here and it ranged within this area. And it's finally climbing back up, like I mentioned. So I mentioned earlier this morning that this is kind of what was going to happen. But it just took a lot longer for it to play through. Looks like liquidity here might be getting hit finally. But you guys can see the liquidity that I marked up right there. Like I said, it's just going to be a matter of time. But eventually, I think if price does reach this point, it's going to blast through it and push up higher. Nice. Rashida locked in 801 for the day. And that's a win for Friday. Yeah, definitely, Rashida. Congrats to you too. Nice work. Vamal said no trade is better than the loss. Have a good weekend all. Time for some PS4. Yeah, definitely, Vamal. We'll see you back here on Monday. Let's see. Kenny is asking, are you BO on your Apex and in profit? Yeah, I'm break even on my Apex and then profit on my FTMO because I didn't take that one loss on my FTMO earlier this week, Kenny. That was when I first tried to use my my Apex, and I got kind of confused because I had to do that check off function, so I wasn't able to enter both trades. That was like my first trade. So yeah, I'm actually in profit on my FTMO, and then I'm break even on my Apex, but I'm going to count it as break even for the week because for the official trades, I'm going to count that as a loss, even though I didn't take it on my FTMO. I want to be transparent with myself too, not just with you guys, but I want to be transparent with myself because that's the only way to get better, right? If you're real with yourself and you guys can actually eat the loss and understand like, okay, I screwed up on that trade. That's how you guys get better. You just got to take responsibility for all the trades you take, whether it be a win or a lose. But yeah, for the month so far, we're still good. So I'm break even for the week, but I'm up 600 pips we'll change this. We'll change this to 2 points. I'll just do that now. Just easier that way. So we're up 120 points for the month so far. We only have one loss for this month and for this year. Win-loss ratio is pretty good. We're at a 90% win-loss ratio. I'm trying to keep it above 90 for this year, but we'll see what happens over the next couple months. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. So if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, there's no other entries available for us here. There's another V1 pattern here, but I probably wouldn't take any sells. I would just look to see where this ends up. Or I wouldn't even bother to look. It's Friday. So it's best to just let it run through. Oh, gotcha. Thanks, Albert. Yeah, my bad. That's right. Thanks. Yeah, so there we go. We're actually at 60 points for the month. Yeah, thanks for helping me fix that, Albert. I just went through it so fast and I just put it as a positive, but yeah. So 4 buys, 6 sells for this month, 9 wins, 1 loss, 60-point profit, total trades of 10 trades, win-loss ratio of 90%. So let's try to keep that above 90% for this year. And we'll come back on Monday fresh. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend. Be safe. And I'll see you guys back here on Monday.